take that little red bookmark and click and drag it, and that'll take everybody. You can't take just one person.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, I see where we're at now.
Yeah. So okay. So
Photosia.
I guess we can kind of start the narrative. So we are in the continent of Varisia, which, as Matt had said earlier, well, first I should start off with Matt. There's some people here that you've never met, and that would be Madeline Gonzo.
Hi.
There you
Hello,
are.
Madeline.
So Matt is my brother. He also DMs a lot, so I want him here for to kind of review me. It's like having the teacher in the back of the class.
I think about Dungeons and Dragons more than anyone should. I do believe
that is true. That is true. You were there.
I have a hobby.
And then there's also Marin, who's married to Andrew. Hi, Marin.
Hi.
But she's what?
Much more.
Well, yeah, she's much more than Andrew's wife. True. I don't know.
No, I'm not.
No, yeah, you are. Okay, and so
let's walk behind the man.
Andrew's other 3/4.
Yeah, and Marin, you've done like a 3.5 or Pathfinder in the past, something like that.
3.5 always. My dad got tired of the new edition, so we just 3.5 and never.
Fourth edition did that to people.
Good to know. I'm glad we weren't the only ones. But yeah, I've played it.
It was very divisive.
Yeah. Okay, and then everyone else should know each other, more or less.
I'm Jacob. Hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
That guy.
Jacob.
What the freak? Who is called Connor? That's so weird.
Hi.
Oh, Austin says we should start with a prayer.
That's a game after all.
Bless this journey.
So long as it's the Eldritch gods.
So we'll actually start in Magnamar. Just a little bit. We have Indar there, who is Andrew's character. If you want to describe your character a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, shoot.
A human paladin, devoutly religious to the goddess Yomade, I think is how it's pronounced.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. And I believe, because of some of my religious leaders and a vision, that I help save the world with the help of Yomade. And so I have him in the military and to gain experience. And yeah, that's basically it.
Perfect, thank you. And so your adventure starts with you've been training in Magnamar with the I'm trying to remember their name. The other name's not on here, but with the Crusaders there, it's the
Mendevian Crusaders.
Mendevian Crusaders, yes. So you've been training there, and they've offered you some hands-on experience. There have been rumors of some monstrous creatures appearing in Roderick's Cove, and it'll be a couple days journey to get there into Roderick's Cove. But they want you to kind of get there in the name of the Mendevian Crusaders, and to figure out what's going on. If there is a problem, eradicate it in their name, and to eventually return and report.
Roger.
They also know the how traveling comes at a price, and they're offering you a little bit of gold to start out with, as you as you go out. So if you can roll 2d4.
All right. Roll 2d4. Let's do it.
Ah, the first roll of the campaign. Don't let
That-
us down.
This sets the tone for everything.
Yeah, boys.
Oh dang! So you get 35 gold,
Yeah.
which is a decent chunk for anyone really. So 35 business cash
Yeah.
as you go on, and then not really much role play there, but you hop on a ship and you're beginning to sail
Right.
towards Roderick's Cove.
And where is he sailing from? Magnamar down here.
Yeah, Magnamar down here.
Do I have a ping on? There we
How
go.
And
long
so
of a journey
the-
is that?
A couple days.
Okay.
So you'll
25 feet.
You get on the boat, and then you get immediately off the boat.
Yeah, let's change that.
Let's scale that.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, it's scaled now.
50 miles.
Sure.
That's
Really not that
probably,
far.
A nice
3
afternoon.
miles an hour. That's like a full day if the boat's not going. If the boat's going straight there, it could do it in one day. But if it's going to if it's going to all these places along the coast,
Yeah,
It's like 250
a
miles.
couple days.
Yeah, it is actually a supply ship that is traveling towards each coast along the coast and dropping off product for everyone. So you're there kind of as a hired hand initially, but then also for the transportation.
Gotcha.
So for the Crusaders, it's free transport as being a hired hand. So it's a good deal for them.
Yeah. Good.
So you are off, and then as we jump back over, nope, I did not bring people. There we go. All right. So the town of Roderick's Cove. It's not a small city, but I mean it's nothing like all the other cities in the region that are bigger than it by size. But it has enough that it supplies like it exports to the other cities down the river, the Chevalier River, and it oh look, 1 square equals 15 feet. I did not know that. But
Does the river head to the west or to the east? Probably to the west.
looking, yeah, it heads to the west.
Okay.
Towards the Gulf. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Looking at the other map. And so in this town, of all our adventurers, Tillian Locksmith is the only one that is a local to this town. Tillian, if you can just give a brief description of your character.
Yeah, of course. So my character is a human. He's lived the majority of his life here in Roderick's Cove. My father is a locksmith, and I live alone with him. A couple years back, when I was 5, my mother died from the coronavirus. So I've been under the support and tutelage of my father, learning how to make locks. And then whenever I'm not helping him around, I've been working at the docks, as we are a port city. And that's really what I've been up to. I'm 14, so I haven't had anything experience outside of Roderick's Cove, really. Just live my life here quietly.
Yes, and what you know of Roderick's Cove is your father. He is part of the Horned Fangs, which the Horned Fangs, they advertise themselves essentially like what we think of a union. It's a workers' guild where people are willing to help each other and provide work and services within the guild to each other. And so your father has been with them for a short time. They haven't always been in the town throughout your life. It's probably only been I'll say a couple years that they've been in town. It has seemed that in recent months they've been picking up speed and becoming a more serious a gang or union. But that's no surprise to anyone in the town. I mean, they help each other out or whatnot. And so one night as your father goes out for his union duties or his horned fang duties per se, he does not come home that night. And you're already asleep at this point. You sleep through the night, but you wake up in the morning and your father isn't there. And so you come to this realization, and so you start asking around, and we don't want to ask too many questions right now because I don't want to do that with the party as an inexperienced. That's fine. Since we'll get that with the party eventually, but you find out that 6 people were murdered that night before, and there doesn't seem to be there's no obvious suspect immediately. It could have been bandits from out of town, or there's some other organizations within the city, but there's no real reason why there would be any fighting. And so it's kind of unheard of for a massacre of this size, 6 people to just go out and die. Who does that? But your father is one of them, and you up here at number 1, the ladies' chapel. That's where people are buried, and you held a service for your father, and he's gone. And what would you like to do after I don't know, after learning this and processing this?
I don't know. My father was in charge of the business. I'm kind of pissed off. I want to go to the location of the massacre and see if there's any clues.
Okay. You
There'll be the things with the blue paw prints on it.
so you come here to the I believe it was the circle. Actually, I don't necessarily know. We'll just say, I think I can
Correct me
just
to say yes.
deem.
It is the
Yes.
circle.
Yes, it is the circle. It was here in the circle that they died, and it's a big open market area, and at night it'd be closed down, kind of like walking through a mall where the shops are there but covered or just locked up so that no prying hands could steal. But you get there. How do you want to look for clues?
Well, I'm assuming that they weren't able to clean up the blood, so I want to see if they were definitely killed at that location. Looks like they were dragged, and if I can guess how many assailants there were.
Yeah, surprisingly, there actually wasn't that much blood, and that's one of the reasons why they can't necessarily pin down on who done it. You only really were around your father's body. But talking with the people at the graveyard, there was only one puncture wound to somebody's neck, and that was the only that was the only physical wound. The caretakers at the graveyard, they explain how everyone else they had expressions of terror, including your father, on their face, but there was no physical. There was nothing physical inflicted upon him.
All right. I guess from that, while I'm at this location, is there any like dishevelment of the dirt, or does it look like it was disturbed, like there was a skirmish, or was it pretty quick?
You can make an investigation check for that.
I am gonna do that. All right, my investigation. Here we go. Hey, 22.
Gotta roll a
No.
d20.
Yeah, I know.
We got a cheater over here.
14.
Where's the disable sounds from? Roll 20.
Settings.
Enable.
Enable background chat beep. Under
Is it
master
a button
music.
or?
It's a checkbox.
It's a checkbox.
You'll chat avatars.
Under master music volume level, third checkbox down.
Aha! Thank you. Okay, so 14. A 14 is decent. So you do notice that with that it's closer to the tavern side. So it kind of would seem like it's outside the tavern that this had happened, but you kind of notice that it's been sectioned off by but there's not a huge local authority here. They have to draw their resources elsewhere at the moment in town, but it's sectioned off, and it doesn't look like there were like over a dozen people. So it seemed to be if not a fair fight, an even fight.
Okay.
So,
well,
you're able to gather that.
all right. Well, I mean, this seems. Listen, I'm pissed off,
Yeah.
and I don't know what to do with, my father having just been killed, and it's clearly out of my scope as a 14-year-old kid. So, I want to go back to my the Locke family shop. I'm gonna look to see where my dad kept his gold, and I want to put out a contract for people to avenge my father with whatever gold I find.
Okay, yeah, you're able to find. Let's see. Let's roll
Investigation again.
No, I'm gonna have you roll something for. Yeah, let's roll an investigation. That makes sense. I'm trying to find. It'd be a decent DC.
17.
17. All right, you're able to find 150 gold through like in the family safe that he has to for like the higher contract locks that he's made for your out of town business and whatnot. So you have 150 gold extra to spare, and you want to put all of that in the contract for.
Well, I mean, no, my
stuff?
father's dead. I don't have means of keeping myself alive, so I'm going to take 30 out of that, but the other 120 was going to go into the contract.
Okay.
Are you trained as a locksmith? Is it a thing that you might be able to, you'll lose like your decent clientele, but would you be able to?
I could keep it up. But my father was the face of the business, so my concern would be that just simply because of his rapport, they might leave, even though I'm capable of doing the job. I'll basically have to regain standing with a lot of people and show them my work.
But you'll have the name.
Yes, I will. I have the name.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right.
So.
Is there a specific place in town you'd want to put it? I mean, there's the tavern circle where there's a lot of foot traffic. There's also the docks. I mean, you can do multiple contracts and
Yeah, I'm gonna put one by the tavern, by the port, just because I know that's where a lot of like adventurers come in from. If we ever do get people from the outside,
yeah.
and then aside from that, I'll probably try and put one as close as I possibly can to the guardhouse. See if any of the local guards want to get on this.
Yeah, and where, what exactly is your flyer saying that you want to hire people? But is there a place to meet you? Is there a time that you want to sort everyone out, or is there a time and location on there?
Yeah, I'll have them meet at the at my father's shop.
Okay.
I'll be there all the time, but I would say if they are interested in the job to show up by evening tomorrow.
Okay, evening tomorrow. Cool. All right, and then you go and spread those flyers. And then that's the end of your introductory story arc. Next up, I'm going to hide you. Boop. Nope, I made you to the map layer. I made you permanent. It was the opposite of what I wanted. Pow! There you go. Got him. All right, next up, we are going to cover the introductory story of Marin's character, whose name is... You said you'd have a possibly different...
Yeah, so I don't know how you feel about this, but I kind of want to have the other characters discovering my name part of the process.
Okay, that's fine. I think if any of them have seen Into the Campaign, they know your real name. But for between the meta level and So what do you want to be called today?
Today you can just call me Lie.
Lie. Okay. I think perfect. All right, today, Lie. Now, Lie, if you want to describe yourself, a wee bit.
Yeah, so I am 12. But I have spent the last 4 years surviving on my own after the death of my mother. Pretty hard upbringing before that point, even, because my dad was part of a cult. Well, both of my parents, but my mom finally snapped out of it. And I've just had to be, constantly afraid and aware that there's a possibility that my dad and his friends will eventually find me again, and I have no idea if they're even looking for me, but I'm constantly on edge because of that.
Yes. So you've come to this town couple days to a week ago. You found that it's right by the water, and so there's a decent amount of wildlife if you had to go and procure food that way for yourself, or there's also it's right next to a gulf, so it's not extremely cold at night like it's been in mountains or deep forests, and so
Yeah, luckily.
So it's I mean, it's not living in a home, but it's decently comfortable here, and it's been a short amount of time, or short enough time that you haven't drawn a ton of attention to yourself. Maybe some people have found that their purses are a little bit lighter or completely gone, but not enough people have complained that they've looked for a culprit per se. And then tonight, it's approaching the evening. The sun is going down, and you're finding yourself on the docks. And at the moment, it's the end of the workday, and so the fishers and the merchants that have been out, they're coming back for the day. And you want to make a perception check as you're hiding out here.
I don't remember my.
I do.
+1 bonus.
Thank
Yes.
you.
I've got it as well.
Still
I did the
learning
same.
the Beyond D&D. Oh, oof.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, not the best. You've been waiting out, but with a prepubescent mind, you're trying to stay focused, but your thoughts will be wandering. And so before you realize it, like one ship has come in for the night, and the people have gotten off, and you missed that opportunity. And then another, and it's the fishers, and there's nothing really there that catches your eye. But there is a final ship that's coming into port. And to yourself, you're thinking, well, I'm not going to tell you what to think. That's not good DM. But you see, it's the last ship of the night. There, you know that there's not going to be any other ships after this. And
Right.
so, but we'll say that that ship is landing here for the night, and you were over on this wharf. How'd you like to approach this?
Well, given that I've been in this town for a little while, but I haven't really been able to buy any food from anyone because I don't want to be noticed a ton. I'm gonna look if there's any, like, I'm not necessarily looking to steal any more gold because I also don't want to be weighed down. But
Okay.
for like food and scraps and stuff that I can maybe get off of the, either the ship itself or like from the passengers leaving, just food looking.
Okay. Yeah. So this ship that's coming in, make another perception check as you try to look for this specifically.
Iris and the Giant is a collectible card game.
So okay. Interesting. So
I'm regretting not being proficient in perception.
Wow.
Not much of that you can see. All they have are boxes. They don't have food.
Yep, that's fair.
And to torment you more, some of the boxes have pictures of cake on them.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just boxes. You can't discern which would be food or which would just be like dirt for fertilizer in one of the areas or whatnot. So you can't discern what box.
Never
would
steal
be-
food off of a fertilizer boat. That's that's less than 4.
So yeah, you are able to notice though you can't really figure out what you should target. You do happen to see our two non-local folks come off of the boat. One of them being Indar, his boat arriving, and then the other.
Can you move that one over just a little bit, please?
I will.
Okay.
And then the other one being the character of Valerie. And Matthew, if you want to explain, give a brief synopsis of what you look like and whatnot.
Well, Valerie, she's fairly fair-skinned. Her hair is mostly brown, but it's all sorts of different, slightly different shades and stuff. So you can't say that it's decisively like a mousy brown or an auburn or any of these other styles of brown. She's wearing a little bit of armor, not much, and she's not. She does not look very strong, and she trips on her feet as she heads down the wharf a little bit. And notably on her is that she has a lute and a flute and a set of pipes and all sorts of musical instruments that are strapped in places where other people might keep their weapons. Although she does have a sword that she's carrying, but it doesn't look like it's a very high quality.
What race is she?
Half elf.
Thank you.
All right, and then in Indar, where what's your course of action coming off the boat? What's the part of town you'd be looking for?
Yeah, is Valerie a companion of mine? Or...
We've traveled
no.
together for a bit of time. I'm heading towards the tavern, I think. They normally have a place like to get a bite to eat in a town like this.
Yeah, I was thinking of heading towards the tavern. I just wanted to know if, talking game with each other would be able to...
She didn't get on at Magnamar, but during the supply drops along the way, she would have caught a ride to come up north.
Gotcha. Seeing as she seems a bit, a little bit dainty, yeah, a little bit weak, I'm escort her to the tavern.
Oh, thank you. How chivalrous of you.
All right, who would be would you be willing, Indar, to roll a we'll call it an investigation check to ask for directions?
Yes.
To stop and ask for directions as you head
Also,
towards...
I'm planning on tailing them.
Okay.
18.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, you're able to not only get the directions but also commit them to memory. Looking very impressive overall. With Lai, do you want to tail them? I assume sneakily.
Correct.
Will you roll a stealth check?
And that would be versus our passive perception?
Got it.
Yes.
14 passive perception for me. Nope. That would take effort to see.
Yeah.
And
then Indar's is a 12. Okay, yeah. So you're able to tail them, and since they're just interesting outsiders, as you've been here a week or so, they don't blend in any sort of the term. And so Indar and Valerie are going to head towards the tavern initially, and
this
then
is night, correct?
correct. It's just after dusk, so it is dark. There are.
Be Mike. I be able to control it. Okay.
There are some torches lit in the streets, but I mean alleyways, and it's just torchlight every now and then. It's like lamps and monument. They're not not all there. Yeah, you can sneak just fine. And so yeah, you're able to tail them too.
It's probably also we're not like the streets aren't empty.
That's true. That's true. You're not. People are going home from work. They're going over to visit friends and whatnot. So it's not empty. So it would be weird if it was completely empty and they just see one little person following them.
Yeah.
But you're able to blend in through alleys and also the Assassin's Creed method. And then next, so you three ultimately are heading towards the tavern, and so we are going to bring in the next person, which is Mira. Which if you want to briefly describe your character.
Okay. I am an 18-year-old. I'm surprisingly small for an elf. I'm only 5. but I try.
You're cutting out a little bit.
Okay.
If you can,
Basically, just sit in Connor's lap.
yeah.
Sit closer, because his noise gate is cutting you out.
Okay. I'm 18. I'm a high elf. And I'm really short for an elf, but I try to look as intimidating as possible. Whether or not I am successful is up for debate. But I'm always very serious and closed off. I don't really talk about anything in my life pre the age of 13. But from like 12 to 13, I was homeless. And then I lived with an old man named Percival until about a year ago when he died. So I've kind of been on my own, just like wandering around, doing odd jobs, trading as much as I can just to get by.
Yeah. How long have you been in this town, would you say?
Couple weeks, maybe a month.
A couple weeks, maybe a month. What would be your are you doing odd jobs here for
Yeah,
a bit of
mostly.
pay?
Yeah, I'm doing odd jobs here. Mostly I've been able to get jobs at the dock, maybe for just like a couple days at a time. And then kind of move on to the next thing.
Okay, yeah. So you've you've just finished a bit of day's work. Nothing too interesting. Today it was kind of a one of those days of work where you're on autopilot and you're just working throughout the day, having your mind elsewhere, and you would probably be staying at the inn and tavern during this time.
Sorry, I lost you for a second because our dog is a demon.
Oh, gotcha. You
I
probably
just finished work.
yeah. You just finished work. Would you be staying at the local inn probably
Yes.
While you've been here? Yeah.
Yeah.
So as you're walking back to the inn, you get stopped by a woman. You've seen her a little bit before, and you recognize her as the lady of Peacock Manor. And let me bing. And so there she is at the bottom of the screen, Corstella. And as you're walking back to the inn and tavern, she's going to stop and hail you. Excuse me, Mira, is it?
Yes.
Yes, I've seen you around town the last couple of weeks, and I was wondering what brings you to this town?
Just passing through. I might.
You might what? You cut out for a little second while talking to you.
Just passing through. I might move on soon.
Okay. What could I offer? Have you heard of the our Peacock Manor and our way of life?
I haven't.
Well, we mostly keep to ourselves, but we now correct me if I'm wrong, but you seem like the type of person that you desire to take care of yourself and not depend on anyone else.
I would agree with that.
That is the sort of the motto we have at our Peacock Manor. We're a monastery, you see, and we train our initiates in how to become that self-reliant, and the ones that have more potential, we're able to really bring them up in class and status as they learn to fight for themselves, as it were. Does that sound interesting to you at all?
I would be interested in learning more. Is there a place that I should meet with you later?
Yes. If you, my name is Lady, and I am the lady.
You're cutting out now, Jared.
Am I cutting out now? Okay. My name is Lady Christella, and I'm the lady of the manor. We're up north in town, marked by a big number 2 on our roof. But any time during the day, really, if you stop by, it may not be me, but it may be one of our order inquisitors or other various leaders of the manor that could either introduce you or kind of go through the process of if you'd want some. We would provide lodging and education for those that are interested in becoming self-reliant, as it were. So if you stop any time during the day and visit, then that's the time to do it.
Okay, thank you so much. I look forward to meeting some of your comrades.
And we look forward on having you in the fold. And then she walks off. Which the air, there's a reason it's the Peacock Manor, because if a peacock could be personified in a person, she has that high head, that elegance as she walks off. That
Oh yeah.
And so she knows how to handle herself, and she may not seem initially intimidating, but you would not want to mess with her, and that's the way she carries herself. And she walks off, and then that conversation happens a little longer than you initially would have wanted, and so you find it being later than usual, getting home. And we'll jump back to you later. We're now going to bring in there, one second. Let me adjust some tokens. We know
If you increase the size of the canvas, you'll have more white space.
That's true. I'll have to think about that as maybe I'll get some people to talk. So we have two essentially adventuring types that have not been introduced yet, which are Jacob's and Austin's character, and we'll say that you two you haven't been traveling together long, but you found yourselves on the road, both headed south. Ulfarion coming from the forests in the north, and Pop Tart coming from
Love it.
from the mountains in the north. Ulfarion, if you want to give a brief description of yourself.
First on, as you can see, my token is the only one that has a real name on it. I'm just kidding. So my character is a male, Valinair Wood Elf. I don't know how to say that word. Eyes gray blue, size medium, height 5'8", dark olive skin,
Long walks to the beaches.
long walks on the beaches, and white hair. Generally doesn't interact with humans very often. Just kind of keeps to himself for the most part. Always looking about though, and always trying to just pay attention to the surroundings.
And it's lucky that your temporary companion is a human that you don't interact with. Austin, if you want to describe your character for a wee bit.
Dragon.
Is she muted?
She's
You're muted also, or
No.
Double muted.
okay, gotcha.
Okay. I'm a dragonborn male. I'm the equivalent of like an older teen, so like 18, 19. I'm like 6'4", and I'm super buff because I was raised as a soldier. I grew up in a really like strict community where we're sworn to fight vampires and the undead and just evil. So that's like our mission. But as much as
That's our other game.
love my community and trust them, I kind of wanted to branch out on my own, and so that's why I'm traveling. And so this is something that I kind of prepared for about a year without telling anyone. I just kind of snuck off in the night, and I decided to rebrand myself. That's why I chose Pop-Tart, because there are delicacies in my land.
Thank you.
Oh, so hold on. I just want to make sure. Pop-Tart is like taking the name flower or something. It's like a delicate name. Is that the?
Well, I'm really friendly. I am very intimidating looking, but I'm also very friendly, and so I kind of wanted to pick a name that wasn't going to be super intimidating, because
Okay.
I am looking for a community.
Got it.
Yeah, and so the way that you two came across each other is Ulfarion, you living in the woods, you would say that it's kind of your drive to seek out and destroy evil.
I would say so. I would.
Yeah, and so you were able to glean this off of Pop-Tart, and the reason that you were headed south is you had heard about the six. Well, no, I'll not say that. That happened yesterday. You've heard about creatures that have been popping up in the town for the last couple of months. It doesn't happen often, but it happens enough that there's a curfew in the town. Not a strict one, but a word of mouth, like you better be inside by this time, or who knows what could happen. And there's a bit of guards and patrol around, and so you don't know what this is, but you want to know. And Pop-Tart, who's just out looking for a good time. Nope.
I was gonna say, okay, Pop-Tart.
No,
I see you.
No, you're
The mission is to fight evil.
yeah, trying to find your
to fight evil.
yeah,
and
trying
myself.
to find yourself and fight evil.
Therefore,
You
making
feel like
the times good.
that's right. That
Yes, and also making friends, I guess.
yeah, it's the friends along the way. That's the evil we destroyed.
What race are you again, Austin?
I'm a dragon.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
As evident by the picture.
Yeah, it could have been a.
She's a reptilian.
So anyways, you two are traveling, and you've just reached the outskirts of this northern path in town, and so it's up to you what you want to do as you come into town, whether you split off or stay together. You interact. Did not work.
Well, I'm not gonna say anything because I am dark and foreboding. But
Perfect. So Pop-Tart, what as you enter town, it's becoming night. The rumors you've heard are that creatures come out at night, but it's also been a long day of traveling. So what's your game plan as you come into the town?
I want to refuel, so probably head to the tavern.
Okay. Roll a investigation check, as this is your first time in the town. A D20. And then plus Pop-Tart investigation plus zero. Yeah. So an 11. You're able to get some general instructions, being told it's in the center of town. But they didn't realize that you don't necessarily have a reference point for center of town. And so you kind of go down a road and then kind of notice that, oh, I can see the tree line. This isn't the center of town. So it takes you a little while to gauge the center of the size of the town before you're able to find it. Ulfarion, are you breaking off at this point? Done with traveling in numbers?
Yeah, I'm gonna back or break off. Yeah.
Okay, and what's your course of action as we enter the town?
I am going to. Yeah, I'm gonna speak with some of the birds using speak with animals.
Okay.
And ask if there's been any. What's the word for rabble rousing? But
it's chirp chirp.
Do you have speak with animals?
Jared and I have discussed the extent of remember how I forget what it's called. It's called
Ranger Danger.
Ranger. Nope, that's my taxes.
I mean, I'll be honest, I don't remember discussing.
It's the no, it's the stuff that we said got added to the Ranger class.
Oh, the UA.
The
Okay.
yes. Stuff. Okay.
And it does come with 3rd level, so.
Okay.
Got it.
I did write that in my notes.
Gotcha.
Anyways, so yes, there you go.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to find a flock of birds. So yeah, I mean they're
gaggle of geese.
They're getting ready for the night. They also understand the curfew.
Has there been any ruckus? Is I guess how I would say it, but
ruckus. Of course, there's been ruckus. There's children throwing rocks at us. There's people yelling in the mornings. There's always ruckus around this town. I wish we should have moved back with our family up north. That's where maybe we'll do that once winter comes.
But has there been anything serious? Anything different?
Oh, I suppose so. There's been different is different than ruckus, I would say. There's always ruckus, but different ruckus is of a different sort. There's been I don't know how to explain it. It's not. I would say you are a flesh creature, but there have been fleshier creatures appearing at night.
Fleshier creatures.
Fleshier creatures, yes, they are. They stick to the ground and out of our trees, which is nice for us, and so we pay them no mind as they don't seem to care for us. But I would not want to get close to them. But I honestly don't feel danger if I were close to you.
Okay. Well, what are these fleshier creatures doing?
They seem to be, I wouldn't call it looking for food per se, but they do seem to be feasting when they can. It's not every night that they come out, but it would be every so often. Maybe they take one of you flesh creatures and share it amongst themselves.
You're saying they eat my kind?
Yes, as I eat the worm.
Okay. And where has this been happening?
So within all the tamed
towards the
lumber
sun
buildings.
or away from the sun? Oh, okay, that was clear.
Inside the village. I know what a village is.
Incredible. These are genius birds.
Yes, inside the town. Well, the darker it is, the more likely they are.
The darker it is, the more awesome. And did they just come recently, or has this been happening nightly?
Oh, it's Gale. When did this start happening? Oh, I don't know.
An old married couple of birds.
It's probably been a month or two, but honestly, our lifespans are so short, we don't care.
All right. Well, thank you. And I'll head out looking to find the place that they described.
All right. Yeah, they were
If answer. Primo.
so go ahead and make an investigation check.
Okay. I told you the gift is dope. 13.
Okay. They were describing an alley. And as you see, as you're entering the town, there's a decent amount of alleyways as the houses are close. If only you could get a bird's eye view, you could see how many alleys there are of this town. And so, as you approach one alley, there's nothing there. And then I assume if there's nothing there, you'll go to a next one and you'll kind of alley hop.
Well, I'm actually gonna find the tallest building and try to climb up it.
Okay. And you'll do that.
Not the manor, but inside the town.
Yeah. And so
It's probably the Cove Hall or the tavern, I would say. They're like definitely in the center of town. That helps.
for the tallest
building.
I should pick a
The
building,
mill
shouldn't
probably
I?
would be pretty tall. 4.
Yeah. This
4,
mill right
8,
here.
or 10 would be probably your best choices.
Yeah, where would you?
I'd probably pick 8 to use the trees to help.
Okay, yeah, and so you also find that it's the inn, and also you see that you, even with your bird conversation, you get there before Pop-Tart. As you're looking around, and so you're just getting on the roof and kind of Batman keeping an eye out.
That's exactly right.
Okay, cool. And so we'll go ahead.
Do you want to shrink? We can't control it. Can you shrink down the size of our tokens and we can place them on the map?
Yeah, we'll do that. Or I'll place you as my as I see fit. Oh, I need to jump to this layer. Okay, so Mira is destroying the town. Alfarion is destroying the town. So we'll have you this big. Boop, 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 boop. 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 Tillian doesn't get a comeback.
Sucks to suck.
Tillian, I'm gonna rule that you're still handing out flyers and posting up stuff if that's cool with you. Yeah, that sounds great. That's a great idea to get everyone together. Thanks, man.
Everyone's muted.
That's right. If you said anything, Connor, you were muted.
I wasn't saying anything.
Okay, cool. So we through a miracle, we're all finding ourselves near the tavern. Whether it be good DM luck or proper planning, including Utilian. Nope.
I'm in my house. Leave me alone.
So
I'll be posting the contract literally right now. Just hammering onto the walls.
So inside the tavern, the first people to arrive would be Ulfarion and Valerie.
I don't believe I was traveling with Ulfarion.
I'm sorry, that's right. Ulfarion's on the roof. Ulfarion and Indar. Roof.
Valerie and Indar.
Is that? Oh my gosh. Yes. Valerie and Indar with Lai right behind.
I'm gonna hold the door open for Valerie.
Oh, thank you. And yeah, I'll head on in then.
Okay. You see, it's at night. It's decently busy as this is tavern and inn. So as it gets later, people will go out to their homes. But as of right now, people are just here for their after work drinks and associations. And and then it turns out it's a brother and sister owned place, which I just found out. Well, as you enter, you see the people and you see the there's a bartender and he's taking orders, making drinks, and then there's also a female that looks to be in charge who resembles the bartender, and she seems to be in charge of the food as they have their own domains there. What would you like to do as you enter the tavern?
The first thing I would like to do is I want to glance around and see, do they have entertainment at the moment?
Go ahead and roll a very low DC perception check.
19.
19. They do not.
Is there a space set for one? Just and nobody's there, or
there's not really a space set for one.
Okay.
There is a like a raised area, but it's not necessarily for like it doesn't have what you're used to as a like curtains surrounding and it's not it's not a dedicated space,
Sure.
but yeah, it's not expected. If they had a day or two, they could set up trim and whatnot to put around, but that corner of the room would be where you'd probably perform.
I'll head up to the matron then.
Okay.
Excuse me, madam. I was wondering, do you have rooms here? Rooms to let?
Well, yes, of course we have rooms. It's not much of an inn without rooms, is it?
Well, it's so many people, so many places I travel to confuse being an inn with a tavern, and it's always, I find, nice to ask. I was wondering if I could arrange for some accommodation, for a day or two, perhaps. I'm not sure how long I'll be in town.
Of course. Yes, we have several rooms available right now since we don't get too many visitors. You are correct. We are more tavern than inn, but the upper floors of this establishment are set out for inns. So a couple rooms that will be a couple nights for a room with we typically charge 2 silver a day for to hold your room for that long. How long do you want to put down for? We can do an upfront payment for tonight, or hold off for later.
Well, I'm afraid I don't have a lot of coin on me at the moment, so that will determine how long I can set up. However, I am a bit of an entertainer, and if you would like, perhaps I can entertain your clientele for perhaps the room and maybe a little bit of board as well.
Roll a persuasion check.
Kai.
8.
23?
Well, yes, we've actually been looking for an entertainer.
As I said, I don't know how long I'll be in town, but it is something that I am not only trained to do, but encouraged to do
Okay.
as we go to new places.
Here is something that we can do. One will let you entertain for free, and will let you have a tip jar next to you per se. But we get to retain 50% of the tips.
And then room and board is free from.
Correct, and 1 meal a day, let's say.
Those terms sound acceptable.
Okay. Perfect.
Guys,
are you
these
willing?
peasant socks off. What?
Are you willing to start now, or do you need a moment to put your things away in your room?
If there is a room ready, I would love to set my some of my belongings in there, and I can start immediately after that.
Yes, definitely. Here, follow me real quick. Let's talk to Thevenin. Thevenin, and she without looking back to make sure you're following, she marches over to the bartender and says, Thevenin, get me one of the rooms. Give me a key to one of the rooms. Like, okay. And he goes ahead and grabs a key, passes it off to his sister, and says, "Okay, here you go. It's the third door on the left. After you take those stairs there.
Third door on the left on the stairs. I will be but a moment, and then I will be back, filling your halls with the joyous sounds of music and tales."
That sounds wonderful to me. And we'll set up unless you have your own bucket for tips, or do you want us to provide a space for that?
I have a hat of my own I can place down, as I'm unsure as to what you may charge if it's your bucket.
Like the way you barter. Up you go.
Okay, and I'll go set down most of my stuff, and then come back and get seated.
Indar, as you enter the room, and Valerie just she took off to talk to the hostess. What would you do?
Sorry.
I'm gonna room. Is there anyone of large, little imposing?
Say that again.
Is there anyone of like large stature, a little bit?
Yeah. As there's dock hands and sailors who, their whole livelihood is built upon their physique. Yeah. There's a table or two with a couple individuals each that if not all of them look imposing, they hold a stature to them.
Gotcha. Okay. Since Valerie's talking to the host, I'm gonna go dock hands, preferably a group of them that's a little bit more isolated. And I'm a strike a conversation.
All right. So they're just sipping drinks, and as you approach, they all kind of chuckle. As one of them may have just finished an anecdote that happened during the workday.
Good evening, sirs. Might I...
Cut out.
Oh, shoot, my bad. Good evening, sirs. Might I take a seat?
Sure, I guess. Yeah. You may have to pull up a chair from that table there, but come bring it over, I guess.
All right, I'll pull up a chair, and then I'll sit down. I'm gonna try to make myself seem big and honorary as possible.
Okay, roll call it an intimidation check, as you're trying to size them up and put yourself out there as a sizable opponent.
Yeah. 18.
Okay, that's pretty good. And then one of them. So there's three at the table with you. One, he if he's working on the ships as you suspect, he's probably not one of the ones that's hoisting barrels or whatnot. He's probably just like a like the gopher, like run across the ship. Maybe even the butt of the joke sometimes with being kind of like the runt in this trio of friends. But the other two, they notice how you're trying to size them up, and then they kind of puff up their shoulders and kind of match what you're doing. And then that one of them looks to you and says, "So, come here for what exactly? One of you metal hide city dwellers."
Well, as you can clearly tell, good sir, I'm not here. I'm one of the Mendevian Crusaders. I come here to purge these lands of evil. And I was wondering if you've heard any rumors, perhaps, of monsters in these lands.
Rumors? It's not rumors. It's as real as night and day. There, most of the spar will be cleared in a half hour.
Cleared, you say? From what?
Well, as you said, the monsters that have been here.
Have they been causing much harm, or are they simply fright beasts?
A little of this, a little of that. It's more so if you find yourself outside at the wrong time of night, then you're probably have a less likely chance of getting home all right. I think only like maybe one or two people have died in the last months. And he like turns towards the other two, and they nod their heads, and one of them looks like a little down about it. But
and not 6 people yesterday.
Oh, the 6 people yesterday. That I know you said that, but I don't know if that's monsters. Like, could be with the monsters. The few deaths we've had with that. Have you heard about the 6 people from yesterday?
No, this is the first I've even been to this town. Do inform me, please.
Well, 6 of our good brothers of the Horned Fangs. They were found dead yesterday, and see, here's the weird part. Some people, they'd write it off as monsters, 6 people dead, like boom, done deal. But with the attacks from these creatures, I mean they're using their claws or fangs. God forbid I ever see one, but they leave blood, and then with these 6 dead, little to no blood. And so so you ask about monsters. I don't think that was monsters. I think that was a planned murder. But evil either way, I suppose.
Let me get this straight. You've never seen one of the monsters, but everyone around these parts knows that if you're out after.
Yeah, I mean, well, like the first time it was seen like a couple months ago. The news spread like wildfire here, especially here in the tavern, and people discounted it. Then the second or third time, whatever. But then when you're getting like a report every week about these things, you just learn to best just to get home at a decent time.
And the attacks, you said there's been at least 2 in the past couple of months.
Yeah.
Is there a standard location?
Two deaths, I'd say 1 or 2 deaths. attacks happen often. Oftentimes, people are just able to run away. You get to like a lidded area or someone's house, and you outnumber the creatures. Whatever. I don't know. I've only heard stories from others, but if you fight back, obviously they're gonna fight back. Sorry, you were saying.
Is there any location to these attacks?
Oh, locations to the attacks. Let's see, no locations. I mean, like anywhere in the alleys, really. Like, there haven't been as much towards the outskirts, but alleys in the center of town, I'd say.
I see. And
So,
and the unrelated six dead yesterday. Where did that take?
oh, just I won't say right outside the tavern, but as you came in here, you saw the stalls that people have, like the town market, whatever.
Yeah.
It happened out there. So
Oh.
so right outside and like couple dozen feet down. So the area is blocked off if you want to go look at it. I don't know what the town plans to do with it. I mean, what? Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, thank you for the information and the time, sirs. I won't take up more of your time.
Well, thanks, because it's almost time to get home now, anyway. And they all like get up. They throw a couple coins down on the table, and they walk out, kind of like a huddle together. And you do notice that not everyone gets up and walks out, but this isn't before Valerie comes back down with her instruments. We'll switch to that as well. So you Valerie, you come down, you set up in the corner, you lay down your hat, and what kind of music and what kind of mood are you setting for these patrons?
What's the general mood that I'm getting off of these people? Are they happy? Are they sad?
They are. I wouldn't call it happy or sad. I'd call it a general like make an insight check. Ha, I can do that.
Oh, hold on. I'm using digital.
I know it's been weird to not have it all in front of me.
21.
Okay, yeah. So they're unbeknownst to you, the monsters in the town, they don't really pay minds. They know that if they stay in groups of people, then they'll be safe from that. So they're more so happy, but also with a tinge of we just got off work. Like, this is our de-stress at the end of the day before they go back home and go to bed.
Sure.
So that's the feel you're getting from them.
Okay. I'm gonna end up probably just starting with my horn and pan flute, and just play a couple of like fun little songs to get people excited.
Oh yeah. So go ahead and make a performance check for that.
Can I do a tools check with charisma?
Oh yes, you can do that.
Great.
Use your tools.
What would that number be? It's gonna be proficiency bonus plus charisma. Yeah, plus the die roll. Got it. And
that is true, isn't it?
It's a little bit better than my standard performance check. Still isn't great this time. 14.
Okay.
Just to part of getting a feel of the audience.
Yeah. So as you start up your typical routine, you notice that the tables directly around you, they're getting involved. They're cheering you on and whatnot. then the next tier of people around you are they're listening. They're into it per se. But the further you go out in a radius around you, the less interested they'd be. So so you have probably overall the attention of half the people in the room, and 25% total is like actively engaged in your performance, and they're really enjoying it. They're enjoying themselves. It's been a while since there's been some good live entertainment.
That'll be enough for tonight. Really, just keep that up a little bit while things are happening.
Yeah, and so we'll cut to Lai. They entered into the tavern. What are you gonna follow them or stick outside? What's your game plan here?
I was kind of thinking outside, but I think that will only almost be more suspicious because, like, everybody in the town is basically in this town right now.
I mean, it depends on your stealth check, honestly.
I suppose that's true. I think I'm gonna stay outside, just because I haven't gone into the tavern yet, and that's almost like, I don't want to announce myself by walking in for the first time.
Yeah.
Especially because the tavern owners are obviously very aware of everyone in their town, type of thing.
Yeah. So go ahead and make a stealth check as you're kind of posting up outside, whether for the night or just whether until people start going home. You know that people go home and inside at a certain time, and it's before that time.
Yeah.
All right, a 10. Not the best. So you you let me look right here real quick. That one, yeah. So you think you're well hidden. I mean, you're not directly next to the tavern. You're do you want to be more so in the trees or more so by the buildings? In the trees. Okay. Yeah, you're in the trees, which is good. You
Doesn't
think
that give me a little bit of a boost on the roll?
It
Or is that just
makes
3.5?
for me it makes it a lower DC.
Mm-hmm.
So overall it's easier, but that gets I do negatives rather than you doing
Okay.
pluses,
Yeah, sounds good.
per se. But unbeknownst to you, there is someone on top of the roof who does notice you. You don't notice him. Actually, Jacob, go ahead and make a stealth check. And you do get advantage on it, because you're special.
Can I roll a perception check?
Are you actively looking on the roof?
No, I guess not.
Alright, then no, you can't. And then your passive perception, which would let you just like notice him out of the corner of your eye, it's an 11, and so
Yep.
he's
Just missed it.
decently hidden from you. Whether he's trying to be super sneaky or not, are you, Ulfarion?
Sorry, I was muted. Not really, but naturally stealthy bro.
Yeah. Naturally, still. I mean, you're on top of a roof, so people who, if they're not looking on top of roofs, they're not going to notice. Okay, so you're waiting in there. We'll go ahead and we'll bring in. We'll say that Pop-Tart now enters the tavern, having been every which way headed towards there. And so, as we kind of described it earlier, he's invisible in dark.
Only to creatures who see with dark. I guess that works well enough. Sure.
Who is?
True. He is asking you, Gloomstalker. Is it your?
Sorry, I missed it. Not yet. I think later I can.
Not yet. I thought that was at 3. You're invisible
It's
to.
Umbral Sight's the name of it.
Umbral
Okay,
sight.
sure.
You
That
gain
makes
dark
sense.
while in darkness. Oh, I am invisible to any creature that relies on dark. To see
Okay,
me.
so it's more so that if she were actively looking and didn't have dark vision, she'd have disadvantage. But also, a dark vision creature would also have disadvantage.
Sure, makes sense. Just double checking.
Okay. So it'd be your first roll, which is 12, which is still good enough to beat her 11. So,
Oh, okay.
So-
I see what we
This
are talking
time.
about.
this time, yeah. So okay, but yeah. So people have disadvantage looking at you. You don't have advantage, until you get special magic items. So, anyways, thank you for that clarification, Pop Tart. You are entering the tavern. You've kind of run around town, and so you get there, and it's kind of like the last call of the tavern per se.
Okay, so I haven't like overheard anything.
No, as you enter, you hear some music playing, and you do notice a man in some like stoic armor sitting at a table. He's kind of everyone else is in their regular clothes, but he's in his chainmail. I think you are, and but I mean, if you want to, you can sit closer to him and kind of overhear, since this is during Valerie's performance before everyone gets up and starts making their way home.
I'm gonna go try to talk to him, see what's going on, because it seemed pretty like dark and empty outside. So I was
Talk
looking around.
talk to Indar.
Yeah, if that's the guy that's like in the chain.
Oh, sorry. The guy in the chainmail is Andrew's character.
Okay.
That's and so and
I don't know that yet.
yeah, that's true. So as you go in and but before you're able to talk to him, he's actively in a conversation. And go ahead and just roll a perception check to see what you overhear from what he's talking to with
Okay,
those.
so he's with people. He's not by himself.
Correct.
Okay, then I will just try to overhear.
Okay, yeah. So perception check on that.
That's a 2.
It's a 2, and then do you add anything on the?
No.
Okay, so a 2.
Actually, it's a 1.
It's a 2 minus 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you're trying to overhear, there's a really solid tune being played right now. There, and your dragon starts tapping, and you're kind of caught up in the music, and you look over and what instrument are you playing at the moment?
Right now, I probably I'll do like a couple of. I've got like a set of pan pipes, and so I'll play a bit of a melody and then sing, and then go back to the pan pipe.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
just
So
jumping back
So yeah,
and forth.
so that's what you're catching, and it's pretty catchy. I mean, in your town, it wasn't necessarily footloose where no music was allowed, but
It's kind of the opposite.
it
of
was
music being allowed. It was
yeah,
more
yeah. It was
strict.
like if there was music, it was like monkish chants and like ceremonial type stuff. So this stuff. It's not the first time you've heard music traveling on the road, but it's good. So you're not able to overhear, but there is a moment, and before that moment, Tillian, if you're fine, we'll say you've been like you posted on the job board in here as well as just kind of like spreading word of mouth your contract. If you're fine with working at these late hours.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with it.
Okay.
What have
Yeah.
I got to lose at this point?
That's right. And so you're doing that, and then Yeah, and so, but then, yeah, Mira's still coming home. And then at this point, kind of like a work whistle going off, except instead of a whistle, it's a mass exodus of the townspeople just standing up, uh, paying for their tab, and then just walking out, and then also tipping.
Is this in like synchronization, or is it just like generally all at the same time?
Generally all at the same time. It's not like a robotic up and
Okay.
go. It's a kind of like the class bell leaves, and some people still have to pack up their things, and some people have been ready to go.
Okay.
And so people are just pouring out the door. Which live from the outside, you've seen this before. People are just going, and you've actually it's at this time that you've snuck in a couple times and like taken scraps from the tables or trash as you dodged the sights of the owners
Nice.
in your living here. So people are leaving, and then Valerie, you have had a quite successful day, and you get tipped a total of 4 gold and 3 silver.
Nice.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, that's a real decent roll. And then almost immediately as people are coming out, the hostess, she comes over, like looks at your hat, takes 2 of the gold, and then just like immediately splits it up before you can like pocket or do
Sure.
anything, because she knows no more tips are going to come for the night, as her main clientele are gone.
Sure.
So overall, 2 gold, and then
Covered.
we'll just
I'm good.
yeah. So yeah, and then
And I'll head and grab a plate of food now that the set is done.
yeah, definitely. They're able to serve you, and that's everyone there. And then Mira, you know about this get home before dark, word of mouth law in town, and so as you're coming back to the inn, everyone's leaving, so you're kind of standing outside waiting for everyone to pass to get you, for you to get in. Unfortunately, before you're able to get inside, there is a deathly shriek that's coming over from the west. And then I would say that the 3 persons, this whole exodus of people, they understand what this shriek means, and immediately they start trying to flag down the guards and get them towards there, and I dare say that everyone is aware of the shrieks coming from the town. So I'll go down the line. Ulfarian, what is your move?
I look west to where the shrieks are coming from. Do I see anything?
You see, roll a perception check.
7. Oof.
Okay. All you see is maybe 1 or 2 townsfolk running away from an area over here. You don't know exactly where, but that's what you're able to catch.
All right. Then if I don't see anything, then I'm gonna slide down the roof and run towards that direction.
Okay. So you're running over there. Lie, you hear the shrieks, and you this would probably, about the mass exodus, but there hasn't been an attack since you've been in town. and so this is your first time. You've heard about creatures, but you don't know what they look like. You haven't seen one yourself, and so this is the first time you've heard a shriek like this. What's your game plan?
Okay, I have like a little like nest, I guess. Where you said it was on the west side that the shrieks came from?
Yes, the shrieks were coming from the west.
Okay, unfortunately that's also where my little hideout is, right here. So I'm gonna... Is it northwest or southwest?
Roll a perception check.
Oof, okay. Not great.
Jeez, this makes the game harder if you guys aren't succeeding.
Yeah, everybody's rolling.
No, that's fine.
Let me do it.
Yeah, it's kind of indeterminate. It's like one person initially shrieked, and that caused the people in those houses to start like turning on their lights, lighting their torches as the like what started out as like a drop in the river was followed by rainfall, and so it's kind of hard to tell where that first shriek or drop came from.
Okay, that's fair. I'm just gonna risk it and like run to my little nest to like try to collect my stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
Back.
All right. So yeah, you're running and going. Mira, you haven't been able to go inside the tavern yet, and people are still coming out when this shriek happens. You have heard shrieks like this before, but you've never been outside per se. You've always like been inside before curfew, keeping things a little bit safer. What would you like to do as you hear this shriek?
Do I see Jacob leave?
Make a perception check as people are kind of scattering a ton. No, you do not. I mean, he unbeknownst to you, he is essentially a creature of the night. He knows how to keep out of people's vision when he wants,
Okay.
and it just comes naturally to him. So you don't notice him go off, but you are noticing that people are fleeing not towards the source per se, but they're kind of just scattering, whether they want to like they're ensuring their own safety or they're making sure their families are safe. They're no one's necessarily running towards the scream. If anything, everyone's running away from it.
Okay. I'm going to draw my wand and run toward.
Okay. You'll run toward it, and then inside, we'll go with Indar. You just had this upsetting conversation about creatures and a murder with no killer found. As everyone just gets up, really surreally, and leaves the tavern, and then that you hear the screech the scream that propagates throughout seemingly the whole town. How do you react?
So I'm going to read my whole life for this. I'm going to very calmly yet quickly stand up, pull out my long sword, and then march outside.
All right, and then as Tillian and Valerie, as you're inside and you see Valerie, you already know this, but as he pulls his longsword, it's got a glow that's coming from it that sheds light around him.
Okay.
As it's a moonbeam
Sure.
touched longsword. But okay, and you're just heading out.
Yeah.
Roll a perception check.
Yep.
Someone's bound to get a good roll.
Eventually, you'd think.
Nope. Okay.
Lucky.
Not today.
You were
I'm gonna use
inside.
lucky.
Oh, okay. That human.
Ah,
Okay.
Gosh, dang it.
Okay. So you come outside. You see everyone fleeing from the west. You can't pinpoint it, but you know it's probably amongst this group of houses. So that's all you got. It's a wide berth of area, but
Alright.
as you travel there, you'll probably be able to locate it. You're not one to flee from danger, so
Yep, just
so
march
off
over
you
there.
go. Valerie, a shriek after you collected the rest of your gold from your hat. How do you react to it?
Am I able to identify what made the sound at all?
Yes, I think that would just be a perception check as well, unless you can convince me for an insight. But
Yeah, perception's probably good enough.
nope, it's not.
Okay. Well, I don't know what it is, but since I see other people leaving, I will head out and cautiously see what I can see. That's part of it.
Yeah. So I'd say you're more so interested in what it was rather than kind of like fighting it per se. I know you're not into fighting it, but you just want to know. You just want to learn. You're curious.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, and then Pop Tart, you're also in the tavern. You had no, you had not just walked in. You just enjoyed a nice song, but the song after it closed and you're clapping and everyone's leaving, you get interrupted with a deathly shriek.
I'm gonna pull out my longsword and I'm gonna try to head in the direction.
Okay. Roll one of those perception checks.
Somebody, please.
No, it's a 2.
It's all right. You know it's westbound. Yeah. As you were inside the tavern, it's hard to discern until PUBG adds that out the noises patch where noises are directly coming from. And so you head outside. You know it's west in this group of houses here. But where exactly, you don't know. And then Tillian, you know the streets.
That's right.
Like you know what it means. Like it's been a couple months, but you're cool. But what you do notice is that when typically people in the town, they're kind of under the self-preservation or the kind of herd mentality where if this one person is attacked outside of our group, then that's it for them. They either have to come to us or die. You see two people that you hadn't seen before draw swords and charge.
I mean, I don't care about them, but this is my chance to avenge my dad. I'm gonna just, like you said, I know this town a little bit better. I'm hoping I have a better perception roll, but I'm gonna run straight for that sound.
Go for it!
Revenge on them.
Perception.
What is my perception? +1, yeah. Oh my
Wow.
Nobody knows what it is.
I'm just running blind. I'm running blind. I will find them. So help me God.
This is interesting.
That's my next turn figured out.
There's a word for it.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. So trying to see where we started. Jacob, did you roll? Yeah, you rolled a 7 for it.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Good
I
job.
also had a
all.
7. Yeah.
Yeah. So, So unbeknownst to you, traveling as a pack, headed west, whether to slay the evil, find out what the evil is, etc. You all make it at different points into this town alleyway, and so what we're going to do is we're going to drag drop as we find ourselves in the alley, and the scream is no more. Oof. But ultimately, let's see, a 1, a 7, an 8, 4, 6. Baron, did you have a bonus to your perception at all when you rolled?
Yeah, I think I have a bonus, but it's only.
Oh, it's a +1. Oof.
So it wasn't
Wow.
gonna be
Okay. So
magic.
8 being the highest
Yeah.
from the whole not formed party.
I got a 7. Okay.
Yeah, but 8 being the highest. Everyone, unbeknownst to you guys, that you kind of did the like in the forest when you make the wall of people to find missing persons.
Oh yeah.
You kind of spread out and you started walking. And
Okay.
how do I want to we'll go with this. It is Ulfarion who stumbles across this scene first, having a
So my walk speed is 35.
sure. No, but also you've done tracking of creatures in the past, and though these creatures they haven't led tracks because of your highest passive perception, you've kind of put together the clues, and you'll be shortly followed by others. But you stumble across this scene first, and what you find are you traveling on ground, on roofs? How are you traversing this group's this housing group?
As soon as I get close, I'd get on the roof.
Okay, yeah. So you've kind of and that's what you've been able to. Oh, roll an athletic. Oof, buddy. Oof. Don't worry. All the bad rolls are over.
Can
with.
I do an acrobatics instead?
No.
Seeing as I'm jumping and stuff.
Acrobatics would doing flips off the roof. The athletics, you're running and you're trying to find this.
17.
Yeah, you're fine. So yeah, you feel like there's a sense of urgency, and so you climber up to one roof, and you're able, with every roof, you're able to look into 2 alleys on either side, and so you determine like this isn't the one, and you jump to the next, and you're determined, no, not this one, and eventually you find yourself on a roof. Second, GM info layer. You find yourself on this corner roof down here because that's where I defaultly had your token. And you see immediately see 3 creatures that are in the area, and it seems well this is what the creatures look like. And are people able to see that?
Nope.
No.
We see no
Okay.
creatures.
They're invisible. Well,
that ruined the reveal. Still nothing. Okay. Luckily I can. So I'm just gonna have to. Ooh, actually, I think I know what it was. I figured because I'm still able to see, like creatures and stuff. I deleted what images were uploaded.
Oh,
So
yeah, that always messes with it. That's gonna
okay,
be what it is.
so let me go right here. Part 1, creatures. Let me size it correctly. I don't think I deleted any of the tokens, so that shouldn't messed up. But so this is the creature you see.
Oh, good.
Ugh.
Yep.
It's huge.
I'm gonna immediately pull out my bow and shoot at it if I
All
can.
right. So real quick though, make a perception check.
Ah, one of those things, huh?
Yeah. Just to see.
13.
You do notice that there is a small family that's around that is now dead,
Oh.
and they're starting to feast upon the corpse of this small family, and so you're shooting.
Yes, but which one's the smallest one?
These are all the same size.
Okay.
So having that large image that was just to show the players what they look like. They're like 4 or 5 feet tall, so smaller than humans, but
Demogorgons.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Then
So
I'm gonna shoot this one then, the one that's
okay.
closest to me.
So go ahead and make an attack roll.
Do 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 do.
I should probably figure out their stats.
8.
It's fine.
Are
Miss.
you
Wah.
kidding me?
You end up in your haste to shooting one of them. You shoot the body that it's feasting on.
It's an accident.
And it looks up and sees this arrow in front of it, and lets out kind of like a battle cry. And so as to whether alerting others or kind of bringing down its will, it cries out, which everyone is in the surrounding area. You're now able to pinpoint, being a lot closer, like 2 or 3 houses down or alleys down. At this point, you're able to maybe not know which alley it is, but you know, okay, so I need to head this direction. And
Does that include me? Since I'm not.
no, you would still.
No, do I hear it? Is what I mean. Sorry.
Yeah, you hear it. You
Okay.
followed the main road. You know that. Well, you suspect that main roads, when there may be evil monsters attacking, are probably safer than alleys. So rather than
Okay.
your typical, you're able to just hide out in the mass of people heading to their homes as you head out. So you do hear it. But we're going to go ahead and roll for initiative. How do I do that, Matt?
Do the you should have the on your tool menu on the left hand side. You have the turn tracker.
Wait, you're not.
I'm not here.
Turn tracker.
Yeah, it should look like a clock
Looking out for number
on
one.
all of your
Oh,
tools.
okay. It didn't have like anything else.
Yeah,
That,
and then you need to highlight a bunch of tokens and
Oh,
right click
okay.
and hit add turn is the easiest way of doing it. But if you do that on the monsters as a group, you got to be careful because deleting the monster will make it so that their turn disappears from the order.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting because some people are on different layers. Add turn. Okay, and then I have to get the one person who is on this layer. Jacob, are you able to move your guy?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so if Oh, you guys may not be able to see the. You can't see your names on here, can you?
No.
I can.
Okay, that's interesting.
I see my name at least.
Because everyone's on the GM layer. I'm missing one from the party here. So, boo. 1 through
I have an 18.
5.
It's flat for me, so.
Alright. Do you not? Alright, if you're able to put in your own initiative, then okay. Lee,
I can't click on mine.
you can't click on yours. Oh, because you didn't
Are
have
you clicking on
permissions
the
earlier.
numbers or?
No, he wasn't logged in when I was setting what people could do.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I need to go edit, and I need to go Andrew. Save. Try it now, Andrew.
No.
Maybe I have to bring you in again.
There you go. Works.
Alright, well, I just deleted that one, even though you said it worked.
Oh.
Do it again. Austin, have you rolled initiative?
Now it's not working.
Yeah, so roll a d20, and then at the top of the character sheet, there's a initiative. 8. So 8 for you. Now it's not working?
Yeah.
Can you move your character?
Nope.
Well, that's on...
Two of them.
Why can't you... Oh, because I didn't assign it right here. Okay, try it now.
Yep.
Jared, you should
Yeah.
make yourself a layer that is like your workspace and copy all these over there so you have a safe place to copy them from. Because if you drag the tokens in, you have to remake it. But if you copy it from a place,
that's smart. Yeah. I mean, initially I thought dragging in the tokens that would make everything. Can everyone? Who am I missing here? I'm missing Tillian. There he is. That smug guy. Tillian. Are you able to move yourself, Connor? Cool. And then if you can roll for initiative, do we have everyone? Leiju, if you Lee, can you? It's not
I'm not
as.
here.
You're not here, but I still want you to roll initiative.
Oh, all right. Sounds good. I'll do that.
Okay, I think we have everybody.
I think I have a +5, but let me check.
+5 sounds very high.
It's probably a plus.
No, 3.
3, yeah. That makes sense.
I mean, I had a +5, 6. I had a +6.
Yeah, but that's your you get your wisdom on it, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, it's because you're special.
'Cause I'm
Okay.
black.
And then you take 3 levels of swashbuckler, so you get to stack your charisma on it.
Yeah, I got +5, but I got screwed.
I had a +10 once. It was great.
Oh snap!
Descending. Boom. Perfect. Ulfarion went. This works
What?
out for the narrative.
Now I get to go again.
Oh no, you're done. Okay. So now the creatures they let
already
out
went. They
out
screamed.
more or less. So this one had screamed, but
The other
these
two.
ones will look up, and then one of them is going to go ahead and throw a barrel at you. Or just like grab some of the supplies that are in these crates that was on the map. And that's gonna be a 17 to hit,
Yeah,
It's
hits.
fertilizer, dude. Don't worry about it.
and then that's gonna be 3 damage at you. It's
Okay,
not
okay.
proficient in barrel throwing, unfortunately.
Classic.
But in a Donkey Kong-esque motion, it just and then causes you to slip a little bit, and you have to catch your footing and whatnot. And then this one here, he's gonna climber up on top of this building, and do so successfully. And so that's them at the moment. Valerie, you are a couple alleyways down,
Okay.
but you heard the screech, the second screech, and you are able to tell that. Well, I should call it a battle cry. That it does not sound human.
Okay. Can I get to the alley?
You would be able to, running in, you'd probably be able to dash over, using movement and dash, and be able to be out on the street looking in. Where should I have you go? I need this.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right. So you go ahead and dash in. You're the only one that's actually. This is not.
The only one who what?
The other tokens that are there,
Oh,
they're not there yet, but you are.
okay. Do I see anybody like nearby?
You are able to see. Who would you be able to see? You're able to see Indar. Fortunately, whether you did so on purpose or it was just fate, you two were kind of doing the line of men down
Sure.
next to each other.
I will use as a bonus action Bardic Inspiration to give him a D6.
Okay.
And that'll be my turn.
All right. Do you remember how that works?
I know how it works if I need to explain it, but
Perfect, Andrew. I can, if you said anything, I didn't hear. All right. Well, remind him later, I guess.
I'll keep an eye out on him.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So next, Mira. You were along the other side. Not too far off. It would probably take your movement to get to here, but you'd still have an action. If you wanted to do anything, assuming you're running towards the sound.
Can I firebolt?
You definitely can firebolt.
Do I not?
No, you can.
So yeah, as you come in, you see these 3 creatures. Well, no, you only see 2. One's on the roof, but you see these 2 creatures, and then a family of 4 dead in the alley.
Oh, there's 4.
One was eaten.
Yeah, fair enough.
Corpse is not there.
So
Okay, I'm gonna firebolt. And that's it.
all right, all right. So roll an attack roll.
All right, I'll do that for her. I'm just looking at her. I think it says she has a +5. Yeah, on firebolt. Okay. Nine.
A 9 is not gonna hit. Ooh, we're doing great.
Now they know where I am.
That is true. As you come in and see them attacking this family, you go ahead and reach inside you to throw out a bit of fire, but it goes wide and just splashes against the ground. missing the creatures. But then the one that you don't know cried out. It goes ahead and looks to you. And if a creature with this this facial structure could give a smirk or chuckle, it does. And so, do you want to do anything with your bonus action? It's unlikely for a wizard to do anything with it.
No.
All right. So then, lie. You hear the scream, well, the battle cry, and you keep running to your goodies.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to pack up my stuff so that I'm, ready to move to the next town if needed. But I'm gonna pack up and then hesitantly approach the chaos.
Okay, gotcha.
No,
So-
chaos isn't in this game. Ha, that's the wrong one.
So luckily for you, since you are a rogue, you're also able to use your bonus action, movement, and action to move. So you're just able to beeline towards your stash. And in the time that people were investigating and closing down, you've now reached your stash and been able to pile it up. So since you pack light, and what you don't pack light, you pack ready to move. You now have everything on your person to take that as you will. Tillian, you we're following Indar and Pop Tart. The name's not known to you, but you do hear the cry, and you hear where it's coming from. And you're probably like 45 feet away at the moment.
Have I done my movement yet?
No, you have not.
All right. And then quick question, what does dash let me do?
So
Move your
dash
speed
lets
again.
you move. Yeah, your movement speed again.
And do I have to do it all at once, or is it just like I then have like basically...
No, you can use up to the.
It adds your
you can-
it adds your base movement speed into your movement pool.
Okay. Then yeah, I'm gonna move. Let's see, so I haven't moved yet, but my character is in the. Is that right? Like he would be here or no?
No, I was just holding.
I'll use my full movement to try and get towards the sound. Where does that place me?
Okay, so we'll say that you're able to, and still have 15 feet of movement.
Okay, I will go ahead, and I'm going to. What is this? I'm gonna pull out my rapier, and then I'm just gonna go for this guy right here. Blood. I'm gonna strike him. My rapier.
Okay, you can go ahead and move yourself
Right there.
next to him. Yeah,
All right,
tentatively
and-
stepping around the bodies. But
All right, and then let's see here. Actions, and this will be a sneak.
it will be a sneak attack for you, assuming you.
Assuming I hit.
Yeah, you don't get advantage on it, but since he is isolated, you get to
14.
add sneak attack. That is going to hit if you want to roll
Awesome.
your damage.
Yeah. That's gonna be 10, and then what's sneak attack do?
Just level 2d6.
2d6. Okay.
Forget we're level 3.
And okay, so 14 total damage.
Okay. Okay, so it does not go down, but it does look quite hurt.
Okay, and then I'm gonna use my bonus action. Oh gosh. Okay, what is disengage?
You used your bonus action to be able to get up to him.
Yeah. So,
Is it,
so
okay. I didn't know if that extra 15 was including my dash or.
yeah. So the dash would have come from your bonus action being a rogue.
Okay.
So you
Okay,
would have
cool.
done the 30 feet movement, and then bonus
30
action to give
30
yourself another 30, and then attack.
However,
So-
your fancy footwork ability, when you've made a melee attack against that creature can't make opportunity attacks against you. You can back up another 15 feet from him.
I can move? Okay,
Yes.
so I can use
Yeah.
my other 15 feet. Yeah, so I'm going to do that then. I'm going to back up right where I was, right here again.
Okay, sounds good. So you just rush in.
by the pretty half elf lady. I'm going to go to.
So you rush in with your rapier and you stab, and you strike true, and the creature lets out not a loud screech, but one that you can tell that it's quite wounded from it, and then you just kind of still facing him, you kind of do the fencing back up, trot back, and that is your turn. And so now Pop Turt.
So how far away am I?
So right now, you would have been 30 feet away. You were in one of the closer alleys, to this fight.
Okay.
So moving 30 feet will put you, right in front of Valerie.
Okay. How far away am I from the monsters?
So using the measurement tool on the side, you're 15 feet. Another 15 feet, since diagonals are the same. 15 feet
Okay.
in this world.
This
And
one's
then,
probably up a bit, so 20 or 30,
yeah,
25.
20 to 30.
Okay. Is there anybody next to the monsters?
There
Not
is
right now.
not anyone next to the monsters.
Then can I use my breath weapon?
Yes.
Wha-
So it's a I believe it's a bonus action to pull out your breath weapon.
It is an action to use the breath.
Oh
weapon.
no,
an
it's just an
action.
action. It's not a.
Okay.
The
so
spell is a
I-
bonus action. Yeah.
By
Uh,
moving, I already used my action.
No, by moving you use your movement. You
Oh,
have an
okay.
action, movement, and bonus action. So you can breathe lightning on them.
Okay. I want to do that.
Okay. So they pulling up your breath weapon
It's in a line 30 feet.
in a line 30 feet.
That's
Okay.
fine.
So yeah, you're only able to
Okay.
Laser beam.
determined on, and they have to make a Dex DC, and so you go ahead and roll 2d6. And they do make their save, so they'll take, I assume, half damage. Yeah, half damage. 12?
Because you rolled a d6 twice.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Dang. Good. Nice.
Okay.
So he take. Wait, which one were you on the screen?
Middle one.
You see that one is limping a little bit more than the other. It's the middle one that has a slight limp to it.
Go for the limping one.
The limping one. Okay, so you breathe true, and lightning strikes out, and it actually it singes a little bit of the building, but I mean it does nothing. But if it was a little longer, would have.
It was chaos.
That's right.
house is
But
on fire.
as you breathe lightning on him, he takes a shock and then collapses to the ground, seemingly dead. Let me throw. No, that's no good. How you put the X on him, Matt?
If you highlight the token.
Yeah.
And then go down to the what's it called? The right click on it a bit and go to the
Got it.
little circly thing.
Nice.
I'm
Nice.
just gonna look over at the Dragonborn that just did, like, give a thumbs up, and be like, nice.
Nice. You still have a bonus action, but I don't believe you can use that for anything. Unless you wanted to cast a searing smite onto your sword. That would be, I think, your
Awesome. Yeah.
okay. Then yeah, after you breathe lightning, taking into your soldier training, as soon as your range goes, you immediately prepare for your next your next turn with the spell. So that's going to be a first level spell slot here for you. And you have 3. Boop. Okay. It basically charges up your weapon for the next attack. And so now Indar,
Yeah.
you're able to rush over, also using only your movement, but you're still so your movement is depleted and you are up there, and so you have an action and bonus action ahead of you.
Gotcha. With my bonus action, can I make it over to this one?
The rogues are able to get it because of their class. Do you have anything that gives you a bonus action for movement? I don't think so.
Can I not? Oh, dash is an action, right?
Yeah. You can use your action to dash and get next to him.
Let's see.
So wait, am I to understand correctly that like in this you can only move so far, and then you can't use your actions for more movement?
You can, but then you can't attack at the same turn.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You can use your action to increase the amount you can move.
Yeah, that's what I'm familiar with. I just misunderstood.
So I'm gonna use my action, my dash, and get right over. Look
Okay.
Brave and stoic, and then
go for it.
With my bonus action, I am still quite concerned, Valerie. So I'm gonna cast Sanctuary.
On Valerie?
Yes.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah. What's your DC for Sanctuary?
It's 11 according to a sheet. So.
All right.
If it comes up, that'll be not hard to get around, but I don't plan to have it come up.
That's fair. All right, and so before we get back to Ulfarion, there is what at least Ulfarion picks up from just the cry that was let out. There are some more creatures that are appearing seemingly from the sewers. I mean, not seemingly, but no, not
huge.
that one. Not that one. I can't select them again. That was the big one that I used as a display. And so three more each appear from the seems like the sewers down below. And then let me get rid of that nasty one. Get the hence. Okay. All right, and then they've seemingly rushed it up in here. And so that is them. And so Ulfarion.
Okay. And can I jump over to this room?
With an athletics check, you can.
Why athletics? See, I'm under the impression.
See, if you would prefer, he could just say, you get to jump the number of feet equal to your strength modifier or your strength score.
That is definitely not what I prefer.
So roll an acrobatics or athletics. Sorry.
Yeah, you're able to make it.
Which, if you click on athletics, if you look down to the second bullet point.
Oh yeah, there's bullet points.
I knew that too. So yeah, you're able to jump and kind of back away, and in jumping you do see one down in the alley as well as all the others. Maybe not this one all the way back here, but you did see him before. So
dives, rolls, somersaults, flips. Yeah. Then I seeing him Actually, I'm still gonna shoot the one on the roof here.
Okay.
26.
Misses. No,
Dang.
no,
What an armor class.
no. That definitely hits. So go ahead and roll damage for that.
What was my addition?
Which one are you attacking?
8.
He's attacking this one here. Okay. So 8 down there. All right. Anything with your bonus action?
Dang it.
Did you want a hunter's mark beforehand?
No, I missed my dread ambusher on the last one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I knew you got something. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta freaking remember. Bonus action? No.
Okay.
Good.
So we'll go ahead to the initial monster's turn. This one here, it doesn't have much of a choice. It's gonna go ahead and take a swipe at Indar right there, and that's going to be a 8 to hit.
Nope.
So it claws at you, and it just do you have a shield?
I do.
Yeah, okay, and it just claws against your shield, and it misses there. And then this one on the roof, having its ambush refuted, it's going to jump down, and then look at the gang of people, and then it'll go ahead and I guess I can roll for it. No, there's one right in front of him, right here. That makes way more sense. So dead one's there still.
Feel free to move all my drawings to the map layer.
That's fair. But yeah, it's gonna go ahead and make an attack at Indar, and that's going to be a 16 to hit.
Nope.
Oh no!
Holy crap!
Yeah, this guy's ripped. And so that's their turn there.
Do you have ammo or something?
And so Valerie, it is back to you.
And there's this one has not come from the sewers quietly then.
No, there was a grate that it tore off and not necessarily through to the side, but it was not a quiet entrance.
Then let me check. Harmful spell is the specific wording on the ability. I don't have a good grouping of people. How well does he look? He does not. Is that an action? It is an action. We're gonna try this. Okay. I'm going to cast Comprehend Languages as my action.
Okay.
As a bonus action, I'm going to expend one use of my Bardic Inspiration for Universal Speech, my Bard of Eloquence. And I'm going to try... hold on. I get to do this with a number of creatures equal to a Bardic Inspiration roll. Which I need to roll on the table. There we go. So I have 4 creatures, and so I'll just do the 4 living ones that are near me.
So
for the next
now
10
they're
minutes,
able to understand.
They can magically understand me, regardless of the language I speak. I have advantage on charisma checks made to influence them, and I'm going to turn while backing behind the paladin and the rogue. Ask this guy over here. What are you doing here? What are you, and what do you want?
You're asking which one?
This one up top.
This one up top.
Yeah, the one that was next to me.
He's like, so as you say that, it kind of glares at you it's not new to talking to humans. This isn't a new occurrence to it, but it says to you, um, we must get rid of the witnesses here, as we cannot be found. Otherwise, consequences will come upon us.
Do I understand that too?
What language do you speak? What language do you speak?
Oh, Abyssal, Common, Elvish, and Under.
What language do they speak?
Our party has a pretty wide language range.
They're an aberration. What would aberration speak?
Aberrations would speak either probably deep speech would be the one that's mainly, unless you want it to be abyssal. Most aberrations do deep speech.
Okay, so yeah, we'll go ahead and do deep speech, or maybe let me look at one thing here. The NPC gallery. What does he speak? Aklo, Thessalonian, and Verisian. Great. Aklo sounds low as in deep, so deep speech. Okay, so it's going to be in deep speech. So
No,
probably
I
not
don't.
with these creatures.
That's fine. I was just wondering.
All right. So that's all you're able to get in this moment. You know they're attacking to now they're attacking to witnesses when but before it may have been just for food or whatever.
I will tell everybody that before I complete my turn.
Okay, sounds good. Mira, you have one seemingly right next to you.
Okay. I want to move over there.
Okay, right next to it.
Under wave. Yeah.
Okay.
So I want to be far enough away from Tillian that I can hit him.
Okay, that is fair. So it's from self, and it's a 15-foot cube. I now know why that ruler was there. Okay, so these guys. This one is good. Well, what's your spell DC?
It's a Constitution saving throw of 13.
13. Yes, it will save it. Rolled quite well. But it's going to take half the damage from you. So if you want to roll the 2d8.
2d or just 1d at this point?
It's 2d8 at level 1, and then an extra d8 at all the other levels.
Yeah, but never mind. Since it was half, I was just wondering. D8, fine.
So we just roll that. Okay, so 4. Okay. He takes it. He kind of grips into the stone around him as you try to push him back with your thunder wave, and he looks a little hurt from it. Not super hurt from it though. Do you want to do anything with your bonus action, or you probably don't have anything to do?
Yeah, you don't have.
No, I'm good.
Okay. So the next is Lai. You have grabbed your stuff, and you swear you just heard. Does it make sound? Yeah. There was a thunderous boom audible that came from the same direction of the street. The screech and battle cry. If that affects you in any way, but you're all packed up.
Okay, I'm gonna do my best to get up here in the next turn, and where my icon is now is kind of where I want to end up. But obviously, I'm gonna try to avoid the view of the monsters as best I can.
Okay. Then go ahead It's going to be
Or even up here.
interesting. So you can either go ahead and roll a stealth check.
Okay.
We'll do that.
Oh, good. That's handy.
Got it.
There we go.
Okay, yeah. So you're able to run in, and yes, where your character is now, that's where you're able to get. And it does take everything from what you had on your turn to get here so quickly. But you do seem to be decently stealthed. So that will be you, Tillian. What's up, bruh?
Oh gosh. All right. Given where I am, I'm gonna go ahead and I saw this lady over here. Just do a really bright and flashy thunder wave. So I'm gonna go storm up on this one, and I will again try and attack this guy.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll.
Righty, with my rapier.
You with your human weapon.
What the crap? Oh my gosh. Wait, hold on. Yeah, 7.
No, distracted by a little bit of deafened ears, a little bit of ringing there. As you
What?
as mom,
Mom.
as you run over and try to scratch, it's crouched a little bit lower as it was grabbing the stonework, trying to avoid the thunder wave, so you aren't able to hit it. Anything
Alright.
with bonus action?
Yeah. So, okay, difference between dash and disengage. Question there.
Dash is full movement. Disengage, no movement. But when you move, you don't get opportunity attacks against you.
Oh gosh, so I can't technically flee with disengage.
Correct. But I mean, when you moved over, it's not too far away, so you still have 15 feet of movement.
And you did make an attack against it, which, being a swashbuckler, means you have a free disengage against that guy.
Oh, does it count? I thought I had to hit. I thought
No,
that was...
just make the attack.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll just disengage. I'll use but naturally with my swashbuckler, and I'm gonna go back I'm gonna keep on using this elf lady for protection. I'm gonna keep going over here.
Okay. Whether using her for protection or leaving the other elf to her own demise,
Power couple.
you strategically fall back. Pop-Tart, make some noise.
Okay, I'm gonna try to go for this monster.
The top right. If you hold left.
How to move it?
Yeah, it's probably harder with the mouse. Do you want to use the extra mouse I have?
No.
I can also move you if you want.
Yeah, that'd be helpful.
Do you want to be
Thank you.
right next to it
Yeah,
like
I'll
that?
just be right next to it.
Okay. So right now on your hand you got a smearing smite, which means if you hit, you get to pump extra damage into it. But I assume you're gonna attack.
Yeah. with
All
the
right. So
long
go
sword.
ahead and make an attack roll. Roll a d20 and then add the modifier for your weapon. That looks like a good roll.
20.
Yes, that will hit. So go ahead, roll your weapon damage, then also smearing smite, which is an extra 1d6.
And I get a +2 because I have a melee weapon.
Yes.
So,
Oh, jeez, these guys are rolling well.
alright. So I got 8 plus 5, 13.
13. And did you roll a d6 as well?
The d6.
Yeah, for the smearing smite.
5, 18 plus 2, 20.
So that one is down. Dang.
You don't trust me?
No. Oh, you've got a what's your weapon?
It's a longsword.
It's a longsword. So a 1d8. Oh, you rolled an 8 on it.
Yeah.
Dang. Jeez. Holy crap. Cool. So yeah, this guy.
That's how Ian takes out another monk in 2 hits. Rolls
That-
like that.
That's fair. That happened earlier today. So yeah, you go over, and this one, which it believes it has strength in numbers, and that's the last thought it has as you cut it down, and its body is smoldering a bit. With
Sick.
Yeah, and that is your effective turn. Indar, you are surrounded by 2.
Alrighty. So I am going to attack this one on the right. Raise my sword up into the air, make a prayer to Iomade, and wipe at it with divine.
Divine Smite.
Yep.
All right. So go ahead and make an attack roll, and also you can using Divine Smite. Yeah, you can do it when you hit.
Right.
So even prior 13, that will hit. So go ahead and roll damage on this poor beast.
All right. So that's
And you're dumping a smite into it?
yeah.
Are they celestial, fiend, or undead? Or what are... Hold on, where's the things?
All these questions.
Um,
They are
or-
sin
undead
spawn.
Undead or fiends?
What's the definition of a fiend?
Devils or demons?
Yeah, the sin spawn sounds like a demon. So, yes,
So an extra 1d8.
Mm-hmm.
yes. Paladins.
24.
He sees this sword coming down at him, and he goes with its weird leg hands. He like kind of reaches up to parry your blade, and you just cut one of its limbs straight off, and then in kind of like an upper motion, finish off its life. And so this one is also dead. Paladins being doing more damage than rogues. Okay, and so next we have this one down here. It's going to clamber up to Mr. Ranger. But in clambering up, it's going to fall short. And so it's gonna finish its turn by these boxes, trying to get up next turn. And then this one is just going to make an attack.
Indar, you didn't back up a step, did you?
No.
Okay, just checking.
Cool. And that one's going to attack Mira for a natural 20. Wizard down, wizard. And so that's going to be 10 damage coming at you, Mira.
Fun.
All right, can she use shield as a reaction to that?
She
shield
could,
yet.
but it was a natural 20, and so it's going to hit no matter what.
Gotcha.
So- But yes, if it was a lower attack, then that would have helped.
Okay, so it's 10.
Yes.
I will mark
Not
that
for
on.
life. Ooh.
Yeah. Well, you guys are taking them down in one hit. They want to do the same. And it just takes more than a crit, I guess. Ulfarion, it is up to you.
Sweet. Let's see. I'm gonna jump to here. Or run over to there.
Okay. These roofs are connected, so
Right.
no athletics needed.
Thank
Oh.
goodness.
Gotta get
And
proficient in it.
the one
But-
that was shooting at or coming at me, I'm gonna shoot him.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll. Your dread thing, that's for like a surprise round.
Yeah. No,
Okay,
it's
gotcha.
no, it's
First
start
turn.
of first turn of combat.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay. So,
Yeah.
all right. So go ahead and make an attack roll.
Okay. Roll. Okay, just checking. 22.
That will hit. Go ahead, roll damage.
5.
Okay. So your arrow, it just goes ahead and strikes its shoulder, and it's just staring at you, malice in its eyes. Anything else on your turn, sir?
I'm gonna run 2 more this way.
All right. It's same amount of malice, just a little bit away.
What if I ran this? No, I'm just kidding.
Less
There'd be
malice.
different malice.
And so this one next to Indar, seeing its brothers be struck dead, it's going to roll a 19 to hit.
Oh, it hits.
Haha! It's going to deal 4 damage at you.
All right.
And then that was the only one in the 3. Valerie, it is back to you.
Well, seeing all of these creatures causing such a kerfuffle, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, using the magic that I've been trained in, sing a little bit of a spell. Very light, very bright, make these foes easier to fight. And I'm going to be casting fairy fire in this vicinity. So if the two of them could make, let me check here, dexterity saving throws versus a dexterity saving throw of 13.
Okay, they one will fail. The further one will fail.
Okay.
But this one closer will save. And so what everyone else sees is a magical, like a firework, just poof, and then this one seems to just have collected that the like glow in the dark glitter type thing, and so it's surrounding its body. So mechanically,
Oh, wait, that
everyone
one
has.
No,
Oh yeah.
wrong one.
And so it now for those who attack it have advantage on attacks to hit. And then we're gonna go to Mira, assuming you're done, Valerie.
I'll use a bonus action really quick to give bardic inspiration to perhaps Tillian right here, and then I'll be
Go
done.
Tillian, go.
And,
All right.
and as a reminder, as Tillian and Indar, you, the two of you have inspiration from me. If you miss with, say, an attack roll, you can add a d6 to perhaps hit
Gotcha.
instead. At
Sweet.
our level, that's the majority of what we'll be using it for.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. And so Mira, it is now your turn.
Okay, can I do the thunder wave again?
You certainly can.
Okay. Constitution saving throw of 13.
And also, just so you know, your so the school that you took was an evocation wizard. So even if you're next to allies, you can kind of for a split second as you're casting a spell, kind of pull them in like a little pocket dimension, so that they're unaffected by your evocation spells. Like I think Thunderwave is the only one you have right now, but as it stands, you can let them not take damage from your big blast spells like that.
Super good.
Okay,
So
What level are you casting Thunder Wave?
Second.
Second? Okay.
second level, was it second level before?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's my last second one.
So it
So
should've been 3d8 the first time.
yeah, it would have been 3d8. So you just roll 4d8 on this one. Well, it does
It won't-
depend
yeah,
on
but if it hits.
No, doesn't
Uh,
depend. If it hits, you still roll.
it saves. It's a 19 on the die. They're so roll 4d8
Okay.
since it saved last time as well. No, sorry, I should have asked that before. What level you were casting it at?
14.
So it's going to take 7 damage, and so it looks wounded. It does the same thing again, where it's grabbing the stone for dear life as you're trying to push it back, as another thunderous boom like spreads out in this village. If people didn't know that there were adventurers here before with the first boom, with the second boom, they definitely know that there's a fight going on. So now we're going to go to Lai, who boop boop. There we go. What's a lie? And your turn, madam.
Okay. So, with my getting up here, I am assuming I haven't been noticed.
Correct. They especially with the malice in his eyes, you are not noticed.
Okay. I think I'm going to. It's athletic to climb the roof.
Yes, it would be an athletics to climb up to the roof.
Okay, I'm going to try that, but not so like if I fail, I make a loud noise. If that makes sense. Like I'm like my whole turn to get up there.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't have any bonuses on this, so.
All right. So 14. Yeah, you're able to you want on this roof here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I should probably change the color to like red or something. All right. So if you want to move your character up there, to where you want. So you still have an action.
Oh, cool.
You were able to stealth, not necessarily stealthily, but everyone else is so preoccupied that you're not noticed.
And due to your second story work, it does not cost you extra movement to climb.
I did not know that, and also that.
Because of my what?
One of your features from being a thief.
Oh, cool.
It's called second story work. So.
And
like
so
the second story.
So
you're
you
good
want
at
to
climbing into windows to break and enter.
Yeah.
Ah.
So had I remembered that, you wouldn't have had to. So,
right,
you are up there, no problem.
We'll know for next time. Okay. I'm gonna survey the scene. I see that there's one over here, and there's like.
I glow.
Non-monster. Yeah, a non-monster all by themselves.
Yes. Yeah,
And...
you have a vantage point on all 3. 2 engaged, 1 glowing.
You get sneak attack on all of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna get away from that glowing one.
Okay.
And I'm gonna come down here and use can I attack with a short sword, like pile drive it basically with my short sword?
Yeah, you definitely can.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll. Oh, that yeah, just an attack roll.
Okay, and
20 plus 5.
Why plus 5? My strength modifier?
No,
you.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a dex weapon you're proficient in, so I should say finesse, not dex. So yeah, you definitely hit, and it's concentrating on Mira, just trying to hold tight against those thunder waves. And so as you come down with your blade and slice, go ahead and roll damage for yourself and add 2d6 for your sneak attack.
Excellent. So
1d6 plus 3. Yeah, so 3d6.
Yeah, 3d6. I know what I'm doing.
Boom.
Finesse weapons, not just a feat anymore.
You come down and you strike true to the back of the skull. You even you kind of land on top of it.
Excellent.
And it dies instantly as it's already crouched down against these magical blasts. It is bad.
Fantastic.
Anything with your bonus action?
Is What's the name of the character right here?
That is Mira next to you.
You can hold if you want.
Oh, sorry. Okay, are they bleeding out or anything?
Mira has been
10
wounded
10
a little
points of
bit.
damage. Half HP.
Yeah. So yes, she does look hurt.
Okay, I think I have a first aid kit basically. Looking now, I might.
So first aid kits, they're interesting. They unless you train with them and take a feat, they only stabilize an unconscious person.
Oh, okay. Then never mind, because I'm
So
not proficient in medicine.
okay.
I guess I just.
So you can use your bonus action to hide as a rogue.
Or to pick Mira's pocket.
From everyone else, not from.
Yeah,
That's
you
true.
could, you could do that too.
I'm gonna go hide, under the tree, but
You wouldn't have movement for that. You'd kind of be hiding in the stonework here.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
From
Let's do that.
video style.
I assume you want to hide more so from the creatures than from Mira.
Yeah, she's seen me already.
Okay, so go ahead and make a stealth roll for that.
Thank you, small child.
Ooh. Oh wait,
Kai.
is that? That's rolling 20. Is that a D20?
Oh, no roll. You didn't actually roll.
Yeah, that's a Connor
There we go.
antic.
Yo, that's my move.
You
Everyone's
think
giving him crap for it.
you think you're hidden. I mean, yeah, you're good to go. Seemingly. Okay, Tillian is back to you.
All right. Since I saw this one fall from some unknown figure just dropping directly on top of it, and
I think it got felled.
it got felled by its life, like some small person.
Felled by falling. Yeah.
Lifeless body. I'm gonna go ahead and go up on this guy and slash him with my rapier.
Go for it. Attack roll, please.
$22.
That definitely hits, and you do get sneak attack because of your ally preoccupying him next to him.
8 plus 3. Can I roll multiple different types of dice
Yes.
at the same time?
Just
Okay.
add pluses into it, and it does it does the math for you. Yeah.
Got you. And it's, what is it, 3d6?
2d6
2d6, thank
for
you.
your.
16.
All right. As you pierce, you pierce directly into its throat, kind of taking after the. Well, as you pierce it, right under its jaw, and you fell it, and it falls back dead. Make a quick perception check.
All right. Yeah, plus 1. 11.
All right. You just notice you've seen this wound before. That's
What?
like
The wound I just inflicted on it?
yeah, the wound you inflicted on like you think that if you spend time to study it out, you can kind of figure out a clue. So you notice something's there, you don't know what. So that's all for you, unless you want to back up after taking him out.
Nope. I'll stay where I am.
All right, Pup Turt.
Let me see how far away I am from.
You are 30 feet away, which should
From
be
the
your
little
movement
one.
speed.
Actually, I'm gonna go over to Mira.
Okay.
And do lay on hands.
Okay. How many points do you want to pump into that?
How many hands?
How many-
So mechanically she is down 10, and you have a total of 15 that you can
Alright,
give.
I'll just do 10.
Okay. So Mira, this dragonborn that you have not seen before, but you did see her just like smolder this creature on the far right. In one fell swoop, she kind of tramples over to you, and she just goes on and grabs your arm, and then instantly you feel rejuvenated as you gain 10 hit points.
I told you, I am intimidating, but friendly.
That's right. It's like real life. So yeah, and then if you want to mark 10 from your pool, I don't know where you track your pool on that, but and then that would be your turn. So Indar, there is one remaining, and he's glowy,
Perfect.
and he hates Alfarion.
Has he been injured yet?
He has been injured. He took a bow shot, I believe.
Actually, it doesn't matter. I'm a move now. I'm a make a big show of force, like shake my blade to get the blood off, and then I'm gonna just drive through its heart.
Okay.
Well, you'll try to.
Make an attack roll for that.
This feels like
with
a turn I
advantage.
need to pay attention to.
Come on, nat one, baby. Oh, yes.
But with the advantage. So yeah, you're able to just go in and stab. So go ahead and roll damage. Are you throwing a smite into this?
Yes, I am.
All right.
And the bardic inspiration.
That doesn't get added to damage.
Yeah, that's just with the attack roll.
Gotcha. Okay. Let me see all of that. 5 plus 3d8. So 48 plus 5.
4d8 plus 5.
27.
Hot dang.
All right. It is smitten. It falls in love. Yeah, you beat it down. And this one, it's as you look later, it's taken the most damage. And so your show of force, your showiness, not only did you kill it, but you overkilled it. As you pierced true into its heart, and so it is dead.
Yeah.
And,
What a show off.
and then with the fight over, we're gonna go ahead and end for tonight, and we can continue on in a week or two, probably next week. But
Right.
say again.
Nope, sounds good.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we are officially over. If people want to leave, if not, we can talk for a bit.
You did it,
Thank you,
Jared.
Jared.
Woo!
We killed things.
That's right.
Wait,
We
is
have-
Jacob just chilling on a roof injured?
We avenged my
I
daddy.
took 3 damage, but yeah.
Yeah, he took a
Sweet.
barrel to him. Oh. All right, now I can look at all the gifts.
Can you lay on hands yourself?
Yes.
Yes.
So
Oh.
with bardic inspiration, if you roll like an 18 and then you bardic inspiration a 2, does that count for a natural 20 or?
It does not count for natural 20.
Okay. Just wondering.
That I'll be in my nest. So funny. Because- Okay, good job, everyone. We have everyone in the same area. How about that?
Right, it's like
That's-
it was planned.
Say again.
I said it's like it was planned.
You haven't DM'd. You don't understand how good that feels. When everyone is finally in the same spot together and you no longer have to try.
Go to the channel.
I feel like starting the campaign is probably the hardest thing in order to get everybody to like come
then,
together initially.
Bottom left, there's a end call button,
It depends
Aye.
on
and
what
then you're
you-
free to go.
on what
Alright,
you-
I gotta
how
go
you
to
do
bed.
things. But
Bless
Aye.
you.
Thank you, Jacob.
Yeah, bye.
Bang.
you either practice it a lot because your campaigns don't go anywhere. But yeah, basically,
Thank you.
I don't
In
trust
like
it.
5 to 10 minutes, I'll get off. So.
I like how the wives.
You like how what?
all the wives rush to save her.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, it is in line with my character.
Yeah.
I do think that's funny too.
I also
Mhm.
saving all the women.
Yeah.
If I had another
Back
You're
off.
going to show off.
Back off, okay? I'm the one that's gonna save all the ladies.
Yeah, sure. Everyone loves a 15-year-old boy hitting on him.
14, okay? Listen, sometimes they get tired of old men. They want to try some young blood.